What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Hope all you're having a great day so far today. Getting into this episode of GH, you know what I'm so surprised about in this episode? This episode was literally all about two situations, just two. There was no other characters in this episode other than the people that's involved in these two situations. So you have the Dominique Scott Cody situation, and then you have the Oz and Portia and Trina situation. Those were the only two things that played out in this episode today. I was shocked. But it was really good. What I'm irritated about, and I'm gonna talk my shit. I'm gonna talk it today because these writers got me tripping right about now. Because I was a kid when this whole Dominique stuff was going on and all that, but I remember watching, reruns of it years ago on SoapNet and all that when they used to have certain episodes air and all that. So I know a bit about it. And Cody's story, I don't like this rewrite. I do not like the rewrite at all because it's a whole big ass rewrite. Dominique loved children. She loved kids. She always wanted kids. Like when she was married to Leopold, her whole marriage to him was just a dud. You know what I mean? And she wanted kids. So I don't see her abandoning Cody. You know what I mean? But Cody pretty much told Dante about his upbringing, about how he lived in the servant's home, like the servant's house with the bells, and he would look up at this house on the hill, and that's where Dominique and Leopold lived, and he didn't find out about Dominique being his mom until very recently, when his adoptive mom or whatever was dying, and she told him about it, because she couldn't die without telling him the truth. So that's when he found out. And he claimed that he didn't find out nothing about Scott until a few months ago. And he didn't come to town for Scott. He claimed, but when he saw Scott, he just got pissed off. Because he feels like Scott and Serena got everything that should have went to him. But that's the thing, because Scott and Obrecht was talking with Britt and stuff like that, and Scott was surprised that Dominique didn't tell him anything like this. And Obrecht was feeling like, oh, maybe you didn't know her that well as you thought you did. That's not true. Because the love that Scott and Dominique had was very real. Very, very real. Like, that was a great love story. You know what I mean? I enjoyed that love story, honestly. So, I don't see her keeping that from Scott. I really don't. You know what I mean? And the funny thing about that was because Scott, talked about Leopold and stuff and how he had dealings with Faison and how he was a scoundrel and maybe she was trying to protect the child from Leopold and stuff like that. But my thing was, if that was the case, when Leopold died and left his estate to her, why didn't she leave Cody anything in her will? That's what pisses me off about this rewrite, because that's not true to Dominique's character. She would have never just provided for Scott and Serena, but she got a whole other child somewhere that she just completely leaves out. She would have never done it. She would have split the estate 3 ways more than likely. She definitely would have done that. And the fact that she didn't, it just doesn't ring true. That's what I hate about this. Cause I felt like if you're going to bring Cody in, bring him in as somebody else's child. Hell, you could have brought him in as a long lost Zakara. I would have bought that. I would have brought that, saying, oh, that's Anthony's other child or something like that. Because Anthony was out there back in the day, so I would have bought it. That would have made more sense. But you're talking about fucking around with the Dominique story? I'm not feeling that. Because that was such a great story. And it was like, why would y'all fiddle with that? But I did love the scene, though, after Scott left to go to the police station and stuff, and Britt and Obrecht were talking. And, Britt was wondering why the hell Obrecht let him go. And she was like, because she proud of Scott. You know what I'm saying? Like, she never had any use for love in the past. I mean, I don't blame Obrecht, because when you're dealing with a man like Faison, it's like you kind of lose all hope of love. But she feel like she genuinely found love with Scott. You know what I'm saying? She's proud to be with him, And she feels like, if she could find genuine love, she still feel like Britt can find genuine love. But Britt feel like, oh no, I felt like I had that with Jason, and now that ship has sailed. She really need to stop putting herself down. Jason was not the be all end all, so stop it. Y'all only known each other a short amount of time. And, you know, she felt like it was great during that little amount of time they had, which I'm sure it was, but still, you still got a lot of a lot of life left to live. And I hate that Britt sees herself as damaged goods. It's like, you're not damaged goods. You know, and I love what Obrecht had to say. Obrecht was like, we're all damaged. You know what I'm saying? And I agree. Y'all, everybody damaged. But you know what? You're not incapable of love. You still deserve it. And Britt need to stop putting herself down. You know? I love their little mother-daughter talks because Obrecht gonna keep it real with her. So Scott ended up going to the police station or whatever and pretty much told Dante to, you know, he dropping charges. And Dante called the DA's office and Cody was going to get let go. Scott is better than me because I wouldn't have let him go. I wouldn't have dropped the damn thing. I wouldn't have dropped nothing. I would have pressed charges to the fullest extent. I wouldn't have dropped nothing. You ain't about to punch me in my face and act all fool over some money that you're not entitled to and think I'm about to drop some charges. Absolutely not. So he pretty much told Cody, he was like, listen, I never knew nothing about you. Dominique never mentioned you to me. I didn't know. And of course, Cody acting like a little sour bitch. You know, oh, I don't believe him. You know, because Dante was like, I believe Scott was telling the truth. Oh, that's a load of BS. You know what, Cody? Then take your BS ass out of town somewhere. I'm about sick of him. Like, I'm not feeling this. Like, I got to be very honest. This storyline, I'm just, no. Why mess up some good history? Like, you know, by adding him to Dominique. No. Dominique would have never in her life gave birth to no grifter. Absolutely. No, absolutely not. We're not gonna play with We're not gonna play with Dominique. We're not gonna disrespect Dominique like this. Absolutely, absolutely not. I refuse. Like, we're not gonna do that. Like, we're not gonna play with Miss Dominique like this. Because I feel like that was just trifling, to be honest. That was just all the way trifling. Like, we're not gonna do that. So anyway, moving on from that. This whole hospital scene, like, everybody just trying to come up with a plan at this point because Trina's worried that if they don't wake up Oz, like, the jury is coming back soon and she could be going to prison. I mean, some people saying, oh, it's too late. Even if Oz do wake up and tell the truth about what happened, it's too late. It is not too late. No, it's not. Even if the jury do come back with a guilty verdict, it's still not too late because all they got to do is present it to the judge. The judge can vacate that verdict. Definitely the judge can. So it's not too late. Even if they do come back with a verdict, it's not too late. Sentences, verdicts, they get overturned. They can be overturned. Portia's trying to figure out a way to get up in that room. But Rory has his marching orders not to let anybody up in that room. They want to create, you know, Curtis wants to create a diversion to get her in there or whatever. Portia tried to go to the room. Rory was like, listen, I can't let nobody in the room. You're not on the list. It felt like, you know, somebody trying to get into a nightclub or something like that. Yeah, you're not on the list. Sorry. Can't get in. But Jordan had a plan. She was pretty much eavesdropping on Portia and Curtis's conversation. She took note of what TJ was saying. So she realized, you know what? If Oz is the only way that we can get to the bottom of it, because she know Trina's innocent. And she was like, you know what? I can't sit back and let this girl potentially go to prison. So she got on that elevator. She pushed the alarm. And all the security, Rory, cops, everybody was just going, you know, to investigate it or whatever. That gave Portia time to slip into the room and administer the drug. I'm actually happy that Jordan did. I know some people probably gonna call her a hypocrite because she bends the law at her will or, you know, whenever she wants to or whatever. And I get it. You know, people gonna say whatever they want to say, and that's their right. But in this case, I'm with it because it was for the greater good. It needed to happen. So I'm not even mad at Jordan for doing it because she saw, like, you know what? She can't let Esme get away with this. She can't let this girl go to jail for something she didn't do. And if I was in her position, I probably would have did the same damn thing. I would have moved heaven and earth, even put my badge on the line to make sure that this girl got off. Because it's not fair for her to get a criminal record, have to sit in prison with a bunch of hardened criminals, you know what I'm saying, over something she did not do. I would have moved heaven and earth as well. Even though when TJ pretty much had told Trina about him wanting to wake Oz up and her mother stopping her, Trina was proud of her mother, you know, for doing what she felt was the right thing. But you know what? That's just the type of person Trina is. But you know what? I commend Portia too for wanting to put herself on the line. I mean, it's risky. It's risky because you could, you know, end up losing your freedom in your career, but that's what parents do for their kids. You know, they go above and beyond. And I did love that little scene between Curtis and Trina where they were talking and stuff, and she wanted Curtis to promise to take care of her mother and stuff in case she go to prison. And you know, Curtis was like, "Yeah, of course I'm gonna take care of your mother, but we're not gonna look on the negative. We gonna look on the positive. We're not gonna have those negative thoughts because you got to think positive. You know, I know some people in situations like that, you know, they can't do nothing but think negative, but you got to think positive. You're gonna get up out of this. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? I'm happy that Jordan did what she had to do. You know what I'm saying? She pulled the trigger on that. I'm thrilled about it. Hopefully Oz wakes up unharmed and we can get some answers and get Trina out of this. You know, hopefully. But anyway, that was pretty much the whole episode. Hit the comment section. Let me know what you all thought about it, and I will see you all later. Hope you all have a great weekend. Have a great evening. See you all later. Peace.